In the last video titled Noah, the Flood, and What Happened Under the Sea, we talked about tsunami to picture how the turbidity current, which was caused by the tsunami, devoured the creatures under the sea. It was like a blink of an eye, and that is why the shape of fish in every fossil they discover has all the part details undamaged or not decomposed. As you may remember, we were planning to deal with the topic how perfectly geological findings match what the Bible says. However, before we discuss that, I figured that it would be better for us to deal with some questions related to the tsunami part. Some of you might have wondered like, I thought this video was talking about the big flood in Noah's day. And I learned from the Bible that it rained a lot during the flood. But I don't understand why this man keeps talking about tsunami. Flood is one thing and the tsunami is another, isn't it? If any one of you had this question, I say it is a very good question. Because I forgot, sorry about that, to include this verse in the last video. Let's just check out the verse now. According to this verse, what really happened that time of human history was not just a huge amount of rainfall, but also an immense scale of earthquake. Again, it was not only the event of the floodgate of heaven opened, but also all the springs of the great deep burst forth. And that is why we talked about a great underwater earthquake, also called as tsunami. As you might recall from the last video, a sudden rush of turbidity current plays a crucial role in making fish fossils that we see now. Then, where did the huge amount of mud come from? To get the answer to this question, you better know the term soil liquefaction. This photo is when an earthquake of magnitude 7.5 hit Niigata, Japan in 1964. An apartment building collapsed down due to soil liquefaction. The meaning of the term is, in short, the phenomenon where soil behaves like they are liquid with high density. This happens because the particles of soil instantaneously get separated from each other by losing strength or stiffness. An earthquake with a great magnitude can cause this, and once this happens, however large the amount of soil is, it can move from one point to another. To get a picture of this concept soil liquefaction, I think you can refer to this video and see what the soil becomes like when its particles get separated from each other. It's a little different because usually nitrogen gas is injected into the sand when they make this kind of liquid sandbox. But we can get the gist of what it is like for soil particles to be separated due to applied stress or force. Some of you might have a question like, I read Genesis chapter 9 and God said, I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. But the thing is that we still have floods here and there, in Canada, Vietnam, the US, and everywhere. How come? A lot of Bible readers got confused while reading this part because they hear the news of flood from time to time. But if you look into this covenant in depth, you will find out some part that we need to pay attention to. Let's see what it is. There are several Hebrew words that can be translated as flood in English, such as shetef, Nahor, and Mabul. However, When the Bible mentions the flood in Noah's day in Genesis, it only uses the word Mabul, which means a great catastrophe with global scale that changes everything. The New Testament also talks about the flood. Here it uses the Hebrew word katakluzo for English word overflowed, which makes us think of the great catastrophe. Just try reading the part where God gives a covenant to Noah, using the Hebrew word mabul instead of the word flood. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of Mabul. Never again will there be Mabul to destroy the earth. I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become Mabul to destroy all life. How does it sound? Sometimes the flood on the news shocks us, but no flood is comparable with this catastrophe of flood and earthquake that destroyed everything on this planet. If you understand this, you will see that God never broke the promise. Thanks for watching this. Oh, wait a minute. By the way, it is important to understand that the exact meaning of Mabul does not cover the judgment with fire, which has not yet come to pass. Thanks for watching. This is Stones Cry Out.